Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Tonight, I hope to ignite your imagination, your creativity, and your confidence in becoming a confident and competent trainer. Chala. All right, so to begin with, our objectives, actually, it's 3 sessions. Ignore my, I thought there were only 2 sessions because that was on the flyer. But anyway, so by the end of these three sessions, attendees should be able to compare the difference between a public speaker and a trainer, understand the different instructional methods, apply some of the instructional methods through activities, and evaluate the components of a training plan and how to prepare it. So, where does that leave us? Ella, go. Thank you. We're going to cover today these training objectives, which actually you just saw. And we're going to have an icebreaker, and we are going to have a full comparison activity with lessons on speaker versus trainer. And we're going to move into you, and I want to hear from you, and I want you to think about it from now. Where are you on your trainer journey? And then finally, we're going to be crafting, well, we're working out how to craft a sample training program. We will have that with an activity. And then finally, what to expect from the session on the 29th. All right. So to get us all started, what I would like you to do, and I'd like you to ask Ali, please, if you can keep track of the chat, because it's very difficult for me to do that with my slides open. So in the Zoom chat, I want you, we're going to do a spark and a step, okay? So in your spark, I want you to think about one word that describes how you feel about becoming a trainer, or if you're already a trainer, to become a better trainer. And then add one step that you want to take to grow as a trainer. So an example would be excited, improve my audience engagement skills. All right, so I'm going to ask for just 2 minutes. Maybe we'll do 1. Okay, 2 minutes on the timing. Please put your answers in the chat. Now, while most everybody's doing that, I would like to ask 2 people to give their answers out loud, and I'm gonna pick them. If Ali, if you could please unmute them, allow them to unmute. So DTM Rohaina, who I know is already a trainer, so I'm very interested to hear what she wants to do further. DTM Rohaina?
Hello, yes, hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, so I'm asking you, what is one word describing how you feel about improving your training skills today?
Oh, I would love to improve. We are all on a continuous learning curve.
One
So
word, one word.
continuous learning. Continuous
Okay,
learning.
2 words, good enough. All right, now I want you to tell me one step you want to take to further your training career. Oh, she's already muted. Okay, let me take another person and their answer. Let's see. How about Janny? Janny, I heard from how about you?
Okay, so if I have been doing trainings for a while now, so I
Cool.
personally want my sessions to be as enjoyable as they can be. At the same time, make the audience love and learn from every part. So it's more about we learn best in moments of enjoyment. That is
Of
where
enjoyment.
yes, I want my session to be interesting, engaging, and full of fun.
Fun. Good. That's exactly where I'm at. So, Ali, can you read out some of the answers in our chat?
Yes, yes. We have Preeti Rathod. He's excited and he would love to refresh his skills.
Good.
We have Claire. She's curious and she's keen to learn new skills. Dr. Amani, motivated and new strategies. We have Rawia Hamadi, enthusiastic and finding ways to motivate others to join the training.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I know I didn't hear from everybody. I will go back when you guys are doing an activity later and I'll read some more of them. Let's move forward. Shall we? Okay. So what we're going to do before I give you any training, I'm going to see where are you at in terms of knowing the difference between a speaker and a trainer. All right, so you're going to work in breakout rooms, all right, using a shared whiteboard in your group. And for Ali, I'd like people to be in groups of like no more than 5, please, so that there's few enough people that they can have a discussion. Step 1, and you can go ahead and take a picture of this before you go into your training room. All right, I'm going to give you 10 minutes in the breakout room. Okay. Step 1, I want you to do some deep brainstorming. What behaviors, goals, outcomes, and skills do you think are there for each category, speaker and trainer? And then maybe titles. You can think about what each one actually does and consider preparation styles, delivery, audience interaction, and follow-up. Okay? I'm just going to give you like 5 minutes to do that. Then we're going to go into a real situation analysis. This is the other time that I want you to focus on. Within your group, choose one detailed real example and then decide, is this a speaker, a trainer, or both? It's giving an example of which one. And then I want you to write on your whiteboard, because you're going to do your brainstorming on your whiteboard, and you're going to write your 2-3 sentence down at the bottom, a description that is your description of your example, and then your decision on the specific behaviors that you felt led to your decision about whether it was a speaker, trainer, or both. And if you could include maybe one change that you think from that example could have improved things and helped them to be more towards a trainer. All right. So are we ready with the breakout rooms?
Yes, I can open the rooms right now.
DTM Sandy, I have a
Wonderful.
question.
Yes.
Okay, so for step 2, you mean choose an example as in choose either a speaker or a trainer and then apply this on them?
No. I want a real example within the experiences of the people in the group.
Where someone was
Okay.
either a trainer or a speaker.
They were either a trainer, a speaker, or maybe they were doing both.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you're going to write at the bottom, you're going to describe underneath your brainstorming, okay, on your whiteboard. You will then explain what was the situation, whether you thought it was speaker, trainer, or both, and why you came to that decision. And then one change that would help move that, if it was more speaker, that it would help to move that more towards the training mode. Miral, Dira, you have your hand raised, my dear.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the same question because I wasn't clear what you meant. And do we also answer 3 and 4 or just 1 and 2?
Yes, so thank you. Then I want you to prepare your report. You're gonna pick one spokesperson in your group, and basically you're just going to summarize, okay? So you should be able to, Ali, correct me if I'm wrong, but they should be able to show their whiteboard, yes?
Yeah, they should be in the breakout room.
Okay, but what about if when they come back to the main room?
Oh, okay. Show it to you, like.
To the main room. Can they show it to the main room or they cannot?
It should be possible if we give them like the permission to share screen
Okay.
share.
Perfect. All right, if we can do that, that would be fabulous because then you can show us what your group did. I just want to give each group, keep in mind, you're only going to have about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to explain your report, okay? Which is just what did you come up with as the differences between a speaker and a trainer? What's the real situation that you came up with? Okay. And then while other breakout rooms are reporting in the main room what they did, listen in. What similarities do you notice? What differences do you notice? Okay. Good.
Okay.
Has everybody got a picture of this slide? Then we're going to move into breakout rooms.
Welcome back.
Hi.
They were a little slow to start.
You ignited them.
No, I think it was the whiteboard issue.
Ah.
Yeah.
But I remember last time doing a breakout room thing, we didn't have that problem with sharing the screen.
Maybe just this time, many people weren't so familiar with it. That's all.
Yeah, seems maybe.
All right. Welcome back. I know it was so fast. So tell me what you got done in that time. Let me hear from room number 1. Who was in room number 1? Do you remember? Meral, I think that was you, yeah?
Oh, really?
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was your
I didn't know
there.
the room number. I just said join the breakout room, so I joined, but it didn't say any number.
Okay.
Okay, so as you saw, there was no one in the room, but then 2 appeared. I'm very grateful that Nitin was with me and Muhammad Hussein. And as you said, there was little time. So the things we quickly got the chance to discuss were first, I loved when Nitin said the trainer shares wisdom, but the speaker shares information. That was, to me, kind of summed it up all. We also discussed that the training is, the speaker is one to many. The training is more hands-on and interactive, more interactive. The speaker would usually stay for a shorter duration, 20 minutes, maximum an hour. Training could take 2 and 3 days. And we talked about also that the speaker usually talk about motivation, broad topics, but the trainer is very like specific skills, teach you specific skills or knowledge about certain topic. So this is what we got in the
Wonderful.
time we had.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. All right, let me have another group, please. Another group speaker. How about Mohammed Isa? Yeah.
Toastmaster Noah is going to, yeah, we discussed. Toastmaster Noah actually is going to present our point.
Okay.
Yes, it was a quick and short summary. So we namely just summarize the differences between them. So typically, a trainer would be more of providing a platform to discuss different topics, more into the technicalities, the process and procedures, and any associated like plans and upskilling for the audience. He's more of a demonstrator. However, the speaker is more into storytelling. It's someone that's usually a bit more expressive. They present topics that would keep audience engaged and excited at all times.
Great. What was your experience? Did you get to the experience? I don't think
We
you
have
guys did.
actually Muhammad Isa and Priti. They're both trainers.
Okay. Excellent. Let me have another group. Claire, what about your group? I can't hear you, my dear. No. Uh-oh. Okay, somebody else from Claire's group? Sorry, Claire. You'll need to fix your something with your mic. I'm not sure. Rohaina, what about your group?
Yeah, we have summarized. I'm driving. I think this lady, Monica can, she can do the summary.
Monica.
Go ahead.
Wonderful. Monica,
Hi, good evening, everyone.
good evening. Can you please start with your group's real situation? What did you come up with as a real situation?
Well, we weren't able to share like personal experiences with seeing both a speaker and a trainer, but I believe my group members, my teammates, has personal experiences because they have shared with me what skills they see between a speaker and a trainer. So a speaker is someone who motivates, inspires, and can also educate, although there's always a limited speaking time and very limited audience engagement. And they've come into conclusion, and we've come into an agreement that anyone can be a speaker. But when you are a trainer, you have more time in speaking, and you have a sense of leadership because you show a way. You are also a facilitator, and they have they offer structure and a step by step on how to upskill of whatever they are helping you with. And of course, trainers have a certain aura, has a certain demeanor, and also has a certain set of skills to be able to share and impart with their audience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, what group did we not hear from? How about
The
Renuka?
PQD group.
The PQD group. Okay. Dahlia, who was your group speaker?
Toastmasters Shazia, she was with us, and there she is.
Where is she?
Toastmaster
Oh, there
Shazia.
you are,
Yes.
Shazia. Okay. Okay, so tell me, please, what your group came up with.
Regarding the differences between the speaker and the trainer, the the main difference that we would say was the speaker aims to inspire, to inform, or to persuade using strong delivery skills, while a trainer would focus on teaching specific skill sets through interaction, practicing, engagement, facilitation. So a speaker is more of a storytelling where they talk from experiences, they follow a certain behavior of voice modulations or keeping the audiences engaged, whereas the trainer has to have to gauge the entire audience and make them also participate with you. So he is much more in a position where he has to ask questions, teach a skill, make sure that they are they'll take away a learning skills. They it's practicing. They can practice with it, and they can also apply them in different fields of life. And
Yes, being able to apply the skills in a training program is super important. Wonderful, thank you. I know I didn't hear from everybody, but we're going to move on just to kind of solidify what you guys were talking about. So the speaker basically focuses on influence, inspiration, and information, where the trainer focuses on skill development, behavior change, and application. And there is a crossover, of course. They both communicate well, but their goals and their methods differ. And this is what we really want to focus on. So the characteristics of a speaker, basically, we have one-to-many communication, limited interaction, which many of you discussed. You deliver a message or a story or a call to action. You focus on clarity, impact, and emotional connection. When you are a successful speaker, your audience understands or feels inspired. And usually it's time-bound with little practice or feedback. Now, a trainer, on the other hand, facilitates learning, not just speaking, creates activities, discussions, and hands-on practice, just like you guys did now in your breakout room. I'm also, as a trainer, you need to check their understanding and adjust in real time. So when I went into some of the rooms, some people weren't quite ready. They maybe had some misunderstandings. These things happen. It's not a big deal. You just slightly adjust your timing. Then you want to give structured feedback about whether or not that's working. And you want, when you're thinking about yourself as a trainer, your success means that the participants can now do something new or they can do something better. Okay. Finally, no, I think I have one more. You might use an assessment, you might use exercises or demonstrations in a training program. Yep. Now for both, they both need strong delivery structure and clarity and presence. And they both must read the audience and adapt to the audience. And sometimes they both use stories, examples, and any kind of engagement techniques, and they both aim for transformation, just in different ways. So as opposed to a speaker would focus on a mindset, whereas a trainer would focus on a skill set. Okay, now, why do you think that matters, right? Why does it matter that there are differences between a speaker and a trainer? Let me hear from somebody I haven't heard from yet. Very quickly. How about Soha? Soha, what about you? Why do you think it matters to know the difference between a speaker and a trainer? Oh, I did hear from you, didn't I?
Hi, Sandy. Well, the more you understand the difference, the more you understand what is expected from you and therefore how to plan it so that you can deliver it in the correct manner.
Beautiful. Okay, so think about it now. Speakers are going to change perspective. Trainers change performance. A good trainer must be a good speaker, but a good speaker is not automatically a trainer. I believe one of the other people who reported from their group talked about that. And then for your trainer credibility, it comes from participant growth. So how many people are attending your trainings? And it's not only about the quality of your presentation, but of course, that's part of it. So to become a strong trainer, focus less on giving a great talk and more on these things: guiding experience, creating interaction, using practice and feedback cycles, and measuring improvement. All right, so where are you? Remember at the beginning, I asked you to think about where are you in your trainer journey? Are you just starting? Are you have done some training, but you want to get better? Maybe you've done a lot of training. Where are you exactly? Let me hear from Preeti. Preeti Rathod. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh, can you see me?
I can and I can hear you.
Okay,
So,
okay, Sandra.
so where are you on your trainer journey?
Actually, I have been into two different industries earlier. One was like home care and wellness, where I was a product trainer, and then I was into automobiles, so where into customer care, I was a soft skill trainer. But now there has been a gap, like about 4 years. I quit because I moved here to Bahrain from India. So right now, currently, I am not actively doing it. So I would want to
So
refresh
you
my
want to
skill.
get back into it.
Exactly.
Fit. Thank you so much. Let me hear from Ahmed Rizvi. Ahmed, what about you? Where are you on your trainer journey? He's unmuted. Ahmed? How about Ahmed Asif?
I can't take the part until somebody takes.
Pardon me?
I can't take this part until somebody comes.
Be my guest. Who am I speaking to? I'm trying to find you.
Muhammad Isa. Muhammad Isa.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, actually,
Go
I
ahead.
mean, you can say in the middle, actually, my focus was in HR, full in HR, but now learning. I'm in the middle of learning, of training. So with Toastmasters, it's improved a lot of things. So the way of giving training, it's not only about speaking, how to be leaders, how to embrace people also and guide people to start learning. So
Yeah.
the journey becomes, okay, there's a big difference between a speaker and the trainer, but the speakers give a chance for trainer to move forward for his purpose.
Very true. If a trainer has to have good communication skills, without a doubt. Thank you so much, Mohammed. How about Cecilia? Cecilia, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
So I guess I'm just starting out. I'm the VP of Voice of Innovators Club in Bahrain. So just started to give some trainings for the club.
It's the perfect way to start to be a club officer.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Okay. All right, let's see. Can you do a show of hands? You can do your digital hand raising if you want to. I want to see how many of you are just starting out as a trainer. Okay, Cecilia and Rula, Rawia, Leila, Mohammed Hassan. Okay, good. So I take it that means that most of you, Shazia too, great. I take it that means that most of you have already had some experience. How many of you would, okay, those of you who have your hands raised, pull them down. Great. Now, how many of you would say that you're kind of middle of the road in a trainer path? You've done a little bit of training, but you aren't feeling so confident yet about your training. Who's in that cycle? Nobody? Nobody. Oh, okay. Noha is there. All right. And Preeti.
I feel I'm in the middle, but I feel I'm confident about it. So when you said not confident, you stopped me.
Okay.
I'm very confident about it, but I'm in the
could
middle.
be. Good. So, Meral, you're confident, but still in the middle. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Okay. How many of you have done extensive amounts of training? Go ahead, hands down. Thank you so much. How many of you have done extensive amounts of training? And you're here to kind of up your game. Ahmed. Okay, Ahmed Asif. Who else? One person? So everybody else is in between. Mohammed Isa. Okay, our PQD. DTM Dahlia. Okay. Soha. Excellent. All right, and everybody else is in between. Good. So, all right, now that I have a good view of where everybody's at, let's move on. Okay, so right now I want to focus on how you can craft a training program. By the end of this training program, not the end of today, but by the end of the third session, you will actually create a sample training program. So today we're going to look at what are we going to do? All right. So what is the district looking for in training programs? If you remember, DTM Dahlia said that they're going to be collecting all of these training programs and looking at and giving recognition to those who have submitted excellent training programs. So you want to think about the quality indicators that they're looking for. They want a training program that is clear and has measurable learning objectives. All right. If you remember my learning objectives from the beginning of this, each one you could measure. If you can't measure a learning objective, you need to change it and make it measurable, because otherwise it's going to mess you up. How will you know that you've met that objective? Okay. It should have strong alignment with district needs and audience needs. So, for example, you know, what are the trainings that the district does? They do club officers training, they do these kinds of trainings, they have trainings for contests, all kinds of things. And your training should be interactive. It should focus on adult learning centered methods that you're going to learn about in session 2. And it should have a logical structure. Obviously, it should have an introduction body, activities, some kind of an assessment or evaluation, and then a closure. And of course, you want to have a professional formatting with accurate timing and realistic pacing. And finally, you want evidence of trainer expertise, preparation, and creativity. Okay, now looking at how to create this, the first thing you want to do is look at the purpose. This is your first step. What is the purpose of your training? You want it focused. So you want to ask yourself, what problem does this training solve? Remember, training is primarily skill-based. So what skill are you thinking that you want to help people learn? In this one, it's about understanding what a trainer is. Next, why does this topic matter for club officers, members, or district leaders? Whoever it is that you are going to be giving your training for. What change should participants experience after your training? And finally, is this topic suitable for a 20 to 60-minute training session? Now, that totally depends on how long your session is, but most people in Toastmasters do training sessions for about between 20 and 60 minutes. All right, now step 2, identify your learning objectives. So these learning objectives should use action verbs: explain, demonstrate, identify, apply. If you are going and doing this, you can go ahead and look up Bloom's taxonomy. And in Bloom's taxonomy, they look at the higher levels of learning. And you can use those to help you decide a multi-level learning that is involved in your training. And they also have these lists of verbs, hundreds of verbs that you can use. Okay, be specific and measurable, align with the Toastmasters educational goals, make sure to guide your training structure. For example, by the end of this session, participants will be able to identify 3 strategies for improving meeting quality. Okay, keep it simple. Here, they're just identifying, right? That doesn't mean that they analyze things, or maybe higher level thinking would be evaluating or analyzing things. Step 3, know your audience. Who's in your audience? And that's why I was asking you where you are on your Toastmasters journey. On your trainer's journey. Because, we really have the whole gamut. We have everybody from very beginning to very experienced. And that's cool. I'm really excited. But if you don't know your audience, that's a problem, because it's going to cause friction, or it could just cause misunderstandings. Maybe it would make people bored if you have a lot of really high level, skill level people and you're going with basics. So you want to think about who's attending. Are they new members? Are they officers? Are they advanced leadership? And also, what is their experience level and what are their expectations? Do we have any cultural and linguistic diversity in this group? We definitely do. And what are their primary challenges or concerns? These are what we call pain points. Okay, so to give you an example of pain points, these are things that we have difficulties with in Toastmasters. Difficulty running efficient meetings, needing help motivating members. We all need this. Maybe you have people who are confused about pathways or struggling to structure sessions. Perhaps you have audience members who are feeling overwhelmed as leaders. They've just come in as a new officer, or maybe they are contest organizers, and it might even be the very first time that they're organizing a concert. So moving on, we need to structure the training. Your outline should include, your training outline, it should include an opening with a definite hook at the beginning. It shouldn't be no more than 2 to 4 minutes, depending on the length of your training. It should have relevance, and it should give an overview of what's going to happen in the training. You should focus on the core content about 10 to 20 minutes, and it should be linked to your objectives. So there should be clear correlation between your objectives and your content. Your interactive component. So if you have a training program that is 20 minutes, probably your interactive component is going to be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And you want to make sure that you have some kind of application or discussion about what it is that you're training. Application is really important. You want the trainees to get the opportunity to try out these new skills. And then, of course, just like any speech, you want to have a closing. It could be a summary, or it could be a call to action. One of the biggest things in Toastmasters, and it's no different when you're doing a training plan, is to make sure that your timing is accurate. So the best practice is you want to break your content into 3 to 5 minute blocks. If you're doing a 20-minute training, if you're doing a longer training, you can go ahead and expand that a little bit. You want to add buffer time for transitions. avoid text-heavy slides, or if you have more text, then it should be animated like this. Include time for short activities or question and answers, and practice your delivery before you present. Actually, before you submit your training plan, because sometimes when we practice things, we realize that it doesn't actually work. And then you would need to change it before you submit it to our PQD. So step number 6, developing your materials. So your materials may include a slide deck, just like this PowerPoint that I have. You might have handouts or checklists. You might have activity instructions, examples, visuals. You might have follow-up resources. Okay, so going back now to a question in the group, I want you to think about how you've approached training so far and what part of the training program, any training program, do you find the most challenging? And I'd really like to hear from people I haven't heard from yet. So Cheryl, how about you? Cheryl Dimri. What do you think? What do you find the most challenging about training, being a trainer or creating a training program? Maybe Cheryl stepped out for a minute. Tara, what about you?
Hello and good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. The most challenging part for me is aligning the training content with the learner's actual needs and, of course, the current level of readiness. Somehow the designing a program isn't only about, I don't know, selecting the topics. It's about diagnosing what skills learners can perform independently and what they can achieve with a structured support. And sometimes the sequence of scaffolding activities are somehow challenging because we do not know about the needs of each learner.
Yeah,
These things are somehow
that's
challenging.
why I highly recommend that near the beginning of your training program, or you can do it as you can do it as like a Google form that you do ahead of time to ask them exactly where are you, what do you expect, just be out there, right? Let them take that 5-minute little training quiz. Okay, and then you have all your results right there, and you'll have it before the training starts so that if you need to adjust anything, that you can do that.
Yeah.
Christine, what about you? Christine Caronia. Nope. What about?
Hi.
Hi, there you are.
Sorry.
No problem.
Could you repeat the question again?
Yeah, sure. So my question is, what do you find the most challenging in a training program? In
I
creating
think
one?
whenever, I don't know if my point of view is right. I think when they have lots of questions in the very beginning of the program, and whenever we haven't, like when we start the program, like there are so many questions from the audience, a lot of questions before the start of the program.
Okay,
That's all.
great. So I
Thank
saw
you.
somebody else had said, looking in the chat, there are other people who are saying, where am I? So it could be, Shazia said, the most challenging part is designing activities when the topic is very technical, when the content is complex or system-based. Yeah, it's true. It does become quite difficult, but you want to focus on what is it exactly you want to train people on, right? And so it may take longer to develop that particular training. And you want to also consider, for example, are you going to be online like we are, or is it going to be in person? And perhaps for a very technical topic, you may want to ensure that it's in person, because I think you'll have better results when that takes place in person. The expectation of the participants, yeah. A pretest, yes, who said that? Oh yeah, yes, you could do a pretest. Okay, yeah, it depends on the goal you want to achieve. But what I'm asking is your own ideas. Yamuna, what about you? What do you feel is the most challenging thing for you?
For me, I think the most challenging thing is what should I do to satisfy my audience? What should I do so that my audience takes away something knowledgeable things from my training? I think this is the most challenging thing for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Can I have you, Yamuna, please mute? Okay, I saw another comment. Difficult to train the foundation to the beginners in any domain. Sometimes it is, yes. It takes more work. You have to think about, especially if you're an expert in a field and you have to go all the way back to the beginning. You want to kind of deconstruct your ideas and put yourself in their shoes again. How did I feel when I was at the beginning of my path, right? How can I help make these things clear? What were areas that confused me? And for anybody to add value, Rahina, it's basically you focus on your content, right? And you focus on your activities. If your content is good and your activities are interesting, it's valuable, right? I mean, that's what we are focusing on as trainers. We're working on creating a situation that makes it easy for people to learn and for them to increase their skills. Okay, let's continue. Now, step 7 in creating your training program plan. It has to do with the assessment and participant takeaways. So this is maybe what you're thinking about in terms of value for the audience. So your training should include a quick way to check the learning. Maybe it's a poll, maybe it's a reflection, maybe it's a short task. For this training, for the 3 sessions, the end of it, the way to assess it is to have everybody submit their training plans to the district. Okay? At least one practical takeaway. So a checklist, steps, a template, something that's going to help your participants. Now, why do we need to do this? Because, of course, it demonstrates your effectiveness as a trainer. So the last step, you want to write your final training description. You should include a title, the purpose statement, your learning objectives, a target audience, time breakdown, summary of your activities, and the expected outcomes. So what is it that we can expect in the second and third sessions of this training program. In the second session, it's focusing on elevating your skills. So there will be presentations and activities on the basic instructional methods, facilitation techniques, dealing with your audience, examples of different exercises that you can include in your training. And in session 3, the focus is on empowering. So presenting your training plan in front of a panel of judges. The top 5 training plans will be recognized, and the best training plans will be chosen for upcoming district trainings. Always remember that your voice and expertise can impact the entire district if you deliver a program that stands out. I do all kinds of training. You can see, if you are interested, you can contact me at my email here, or you can contact me through DTM Dahlia. That's it for me. Now we're going to open it up for questions and answers. So I'm going to, okay, Meral, you have a question.
Yeah,
again.
I'm wondering if the training has to do with Toastmasters, because I've seen a lot about the district and the Toastmaster, and so I'm wondering if the training we offer has to do with Toastmasters.
It depends. We have training within Toastmasters and there is training outside of Toastmasters.
No, the program you're asking us to develop after the 3 sessions.
The program that I'm asking you to develop, okay, that actually, it's not me, it's our PQD who's asking you to develop. This will be for the district.
Yeah, but
Okay.
does it have to be the topic? Does it have to be like the topics of the district, or could be an outside topic that would be useful to the district?
Honestly, I'm not sure that that's going to happen in the other sessions. So that's going to happen in session 2, which DTM Wafat will be covering. Maybe Dahlia, you can give some more clarity on that, please.
This is actually a good question.
We don't have an answer to.
Yeah, I wasn't sure you had an answer yet. That's
Well, honestly, when we first developed this program, it was for specific sessions. However, I would be very interested to hear the topics you would be willing to give or you have in mind, because definitely it could be something that you could bring a new idea that we haven't discussed. So I would really love to hear. So let's hear more from you or whoever has a different idea, and let's discuss.
Okay, because I think we have a very rich pool of people here, so they might have a lot of interesting inputs to add.
I completely agree.
Thank you.
And yes, I'll be happy to make the slides available. No problem. I will get those to Dahlia, and Dahlia can probably put them on the District 20, or I can put them right onto the District 20 WhatsApp group if everybody's in that. If you're not, then you can send me an email. I'll put my email here again. Okay. Yeah. Other questions? Focusing on what we did today. There's still a lot. We're only like halfway through the training. Yes, Dahlia.
I actually have a question, DTM Sandy, on the slide that deals with the components of the training plan. If you can you please reshare it?
The components of the training plan?
Yeah, I think it was the one before last or the last slide.
Okay, yeah. Was it Nope.
Or was it once? 21, I think, maybe?
Write
Yes,
the
this one.
final description.
Yes. Can you please maybe explain a little bit about the difference between the learning objectives and the expected outcomes?
Oh, for sure. Okay, thank you. So let's put these up here. So our learning objectives are what we want to train people with, okay? What is it that we want people to learn how to do, okay? Expected outcomes now are, what do we expect our attendees to take away from this program that we've done the training for? So the expected outcomes, let me go back, the learning objectives for this one, let me just go all the way back to my beginning. Oh, no, that's my agenda. Okay. I have them with the same picture. Okay. Mhm. Here, no. I did it first. There, training objectives. All right, so always your training objectives start with a verb. And these verbs, these are the ones that I was telling you can be found if you just Google Bloom's taxonomy verbs. Okay? It can help you to do that. So basically, you've got compare the difference. Okay? That's involving an analysis or an evaluation of such, understanding the different instructional methods, applying some of the instructional methods through activities, and evaluating the components of a training plan and how to prepare it. Okay, so you have all of them starting with the verbs. Now, what would be the takeaways? What would be the learning outcomes? All right, so the learning outcomes would be participants shared their group discussion on the comparison between the speaker and the trainer. Okay, I can measure it. It's clear. Did you do it? I can check it off, right? Now, the second one, understanding the different instructional methods. All right, so this one, of course, is going to be part of DTM Wafa's program, but when you're looking at it, what do you want them to come out with that? What do you want people to walk away with? You want them to be able to identify the different instructional methods. Perhaps they experienced all the different instructional methods in the process of the training. Okay. Today we did a number of them. So who can tell me what were the instructional methods that we used today for the activities? We used question and answer. We used group activities of brainstorming, summarizing, and reporting. Okay. There are so many that you're going to be learning. So we want to see that there is an application of these instructional methods. Okay. So instead of apply some instructional methods, you would say applied these specific instructional methods through what activities. Evaluate the components of a training plan and how to prepare it. Okay, So when you are looking at a training plan, you need to be able to then evaluate how, like, is it good? Is it bad? Does it have strong points? Does it have weak points? All right. And how to prepare it, we went through today. And with DTM Wafa, you're going to be doing more about evaluating it. Okay? Does that make sense?
I would say I think I got it with that first example when you said understand the different instruction methods, and then the outcome would be that we understood 1, 2, 3 how to use
Yes.
question and answers,
Yes.
how
So
to
your learning outcomes are more specific.
Okay.
And they talk
Okay.
about what the attendees walked away with. What skills did they walk away with? What did they do to meet that objective? Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Better. Alhamdulillah. Good. Other questions? Oh, yes. Thank you, Muhammad Isa. Those are the Bloom's taxonomy that he put in there. I can't tell, it's so small though. I can't tell if it's got all of Bloom's. They've added on to Bloom's taxonomy. They keep adding. Yes, Ali.
Yes. How does somebody know that they are qualified to be a trainer? What are the prerequisites? That's it.
Okay. Good question. Obviously, you need to be a good speaker and communicator. Secondly, you need to develop a good training program, right? It's all about being able to focus on teaching skills, right? How do you know if you're a good trainer? Well, essentially, how many people are coming to your training programs, right? If you have a lot of people, maybe you start off small and then more and more people start coming. Generally, that's a very good sign that your training is excellent. Okay. And you can even ask people for feedback. I highly recommend that you do, as a matter of fact, because even the most experienced trainers, I mean, I've been teaching for 40 years, right? So the most experienced trainers can mess things up. They can make mistakes and they can improve. That's exactly why we have a number of experienced trainers in the room today. Okay? Does that make sense?
I mean, it's somewhat satisfying.
Okay.
I would say because people sometimes can, I wouldn't say whitewashing, you know, they would say you're good, you're nice people, but behind the back they say something else. So how do I know that the feedback that I'm receiving from those people is actually accurate?
There will always be people who will just say what they think is going to please you. I mean, you can't get around that. There's always going to be people like that. So basically, you want to find people that you know and that you trust to give solid feedback. Ask them ahead of your training to be there and to be watching you and prepared to give you feedback at the end. All right. And you may want one person, you may want 2, 3, it's up to you, you know, however many you feel, but at least one person I highly recommend. That way, you know that what you're getting from them is authentic, right? And they're not gonna sweet coat it. Right. Okay. All right.
Can I add
Preeta,
to
you
that
had
one thing?
yes.
Yeah, you can have an anonymous feedback form at the end and ask
Yes,
about
you can.
feedback without their names. Usually people, if they don't write their names, they'll be honest. And you get everything that you want to know.
Exactly. Some things you want and other things you don't want to know.
Exactly.
Yes, Preeta, you had your hand raised for a long time, my dear. What's your question?
Yes, thank you. Just before I ask my question, I would also like to add to Ali's doubt that how we can check whether we have imparted a very good training module is we can also prepare a quick question format. Like a multiple question type objective one and get those ticked and get it over so that we know that what we have imparted to them has been grasped properly.
Exactly.
Yes,
Always,
and
I highly recommend that you give some kind of a feedback form to your attendees. Some trainers do it every single time they train, others do it periodically. It's completely up to you and how comfortable you are and how easy it is to do that. Yes, Mohammed Isa.
excuse me, ma'am, I still have questions today.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Preeti. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
ma'am. Yes, so my question is when like we need to design a training plan. So is this going to be a group activity or will it be individual?
No, it's individual.
All right.
It's
So
individual.
it could
You will
be.
be going into that very heavily in session 2. This one was just so that you could learn what is a training program, what do you need to put in your training program, okay? And then the next session is about putting it together with more information, okay? And probably, I'm not 100% sure because that's not my training session. That's DTM Wafaz, but most likely practicing doing it, maybe creating an outline of your training program, things like that.
So it
Okay.
could be on extensive topics, anyone. Not
Um,
particularly related to Toastmasters or the district, like someone already asked, right?
Dahlia.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a specific topic for the training plan?
Yes, we did have a specific topics in mind. However, again, I would really love to hear from the people. I think it's a good thing to hear from you and to also tell you what we have in mind, but I would love to hear from everyone maybe first.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mohammed Isa.
Yeah, first I want to say thanks for the amazing training today. Second things actually about Ali points, Ali, regarding training. If it's for official training for company or for whatever, the better way to know which it is good or no, it is training effectiveness to make a plan to know how did it affect people and what the improvement people do, so you can find this training is good from your side or no. The other side is a form which is said anonymous or with names. It's okay, but every training actually comes with a training feedback because it comes for, as our also speaks, area for improvement. We need to know where we stand and where we move forward. So this is the second way. Related to the question, actually I have a question. See that training which you need us to design, it is required for the current members to encourage them to continue, or it's required for public, for outside people to come or to join Toastmasters. And it is, if it is something related to members to know more about Toastmaster, this is a different way. And the other one is if it is required also for outside people, public people to know about Toastmaster and to join. This was my question, just to clarify that point.
Thank you. And Dali, I'm going to turn it right back to you, my dear.
Okay,
Thank you.
so I'll tell you one thing that I think could be a really good idea is to what we can do is maybe circulate a form where everyone who would like to talk about a certain topic that is somehow related to Toastmasters, you can share what you have in mind. And then next session, I'll have an idea, and the whole team will have an idea of what you would want to discuss. And we can come to a compromise or decide on how we can proceed with what you can do or bring the 2 points of view together. So this is the next step.
Good
I
idea.
would circulate, yes, a form and ask you to state all the topics that you would like to train on.
So
And then you
would
can
it
share
better
that.
for us to start after the second and third training, or we start from now
If you have an
I think
idea
it's better
from
to
now,
wait.
but we can actually do a first survey, and then maybe after session 2 we can do another survey.
Okay, thank you.
So yes.
Yeah, good idea. Thank you, Mohammed. Excellent thoughts. Great. Anybody else? Other questions? No? Okie dokie. I believe would appreciate the slides. Yes. Yes. You're very welcome, Claire. And I am going to hand it back to our Sergeant at Arms, Tech Whiz, and our Zoom Master and MC, mashallah, talking about a Toastmaster wearing many hats. Back to you, Ali.
This was a very interesting session, and last month I turned 30, the month before it. And it's only right now that I started to realize the irony of this session, which is that it's a training session on how to do trainers or something like that. So we're being trained how to train. It's really interesting, and what's bizarre that it took me that long to realize. Joining the meeting, being part of it, doing part of the agenda, and doing all of that, and then only by the end of it realizing the irony. That's an irony in itself, and it tells
Yeah,
about
it is.
how I changed as I grew. I'm growing, and my mind, the wiring is changing. That's for sure. That's what I can say. As for the session itself, I really like DTM Sandy. Her like calm demeanor reminded me when I'm at university listening to a lecture. She's very calm. Instead of, some people say you have to be energetic and jump. I don't think we should be clowns. Some people have that personality, but it's okay to be calm, and the calm itself can be attractive in itself. That can pull you in. So we don't have to shout to people so that we grab their attention. I don't believe that we have to be some kind of
I actually
hipster.
recommend that you do not shout. I mean, do you like being shouted at? I don't like being shouted at. I don't think anybody enjoys it. So yeah, it's generally not a good idea to shout. Yeah.
There's like an extra quality to your voice, which is like it's I don't know, sipping tea. Like it's really soothing to listen to, and that's part of
Alhamdulillah,
adding to
alhamdulillah.
the
Thank you.
enjoyment of the workshop itself. So we think about the workshop as information, delivery, and changing, and that was there. But what's on top of it, your delivery added to it, where we are interested to listen and wanting to continue to listen because you have that kind of soothing voice that really pulls me in when I try to focus on the content that you're presenting. And you are showing us the next step because we are speaking and we are trying to change ourselves and maybe try to influence others as much as we can. But the next step for us is to move on, or not to move on, to do something on the side, which is to train. And that's maybe something that is allowing us a new platform other than just doing a speaker, evaluator. You start to think that there is more to do other than speaking and evaluating.
Of
Really, thank
course.
you very much.
You are so welcome. You know, there are all kinds of training that can take place at the club level, at the area level, division, district. You know, they now have in the new, I think it's in the new level 3, is it? Or is it 2? Where you need to do 3? Okay, yeah. So the new level 3, you have to do what is it, the speakers, God, I should know that, it's so old, right? But there are manuals, right, for the Better Speaker series, the Better Leader series, yeah, and the Better Club series. all of these are designed to help your club members, your area members, your division members, and they're usually about 15 to 20 minutes long. Okay, so I mean, these are great ways to practice, and you're evaluated in the process of doing that training by the club member, just like you would be evaluated for any speech. And that helps you so much to improve. So, I mean, don't be so afraid. Just start. You can always start small. Like, I think it was Cecilia, she was talking about being a new VP Ed and that she's now starting training. That's fantastic. Start with 10-minute training, 15-minute training, 20-minute training. Work up to it. Just like as a speaker, we start with impromptu, or we start with doing the roles in the club to help us feel more confident as we speak, right? It's the same thing. We say take baby steps. And build up your skills, build up your confidence. As your skills build, your confidence goes up. And the more you do something, the better you'll be at it. Usually. I mean, as long as your focus is on improving and you have people like we were talking about, evaluating you, then you're definitely going to continue to improve, right? I have known people that don't really listen to people's feedback. But if you want to learn, then you need to be open to some constructive criticism and move with it, right? It may be some people don't like something, but you feel very strongly about it. Okay, maybe ask another person to evaluate. Is it a problem with them too, or was it only that one person? Sometimes it happens, right? We just need to be open and willing to learn. And as long as you are doing that and keep working at it, you're just gonna grow and get better all the time. Okay. Sorry, I took over again.
I want to say something. No, it's okay. I love what you presented as a simple kind of solution, which is not to think about like doing a 2-hour training and whatnot. We could start simple, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and we can build up to that like full length program.
Even 10.
Yeah.
Even a 10-minute quick training. Like maybe you have a whole bunch of new members in your club, right?
Yes.
Do a really quick training. How do I get into pathways? How do I find my path? How do I, because it's new now. Even my daughter just finally joined Toastmasters. I was so happy. After only, I joined in 2013. So, it's been a while and she's just now decided to join. But so she was like, how do I find this? And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, because it's the new program now. So they've updated it. So let me go in and check. And I had to go in and just watch her and follow her. But you can do a quick 10-minute training for your new members, right?
Yes.
It can be something technical where you're just demonstrating. And what are your strengths? Play to your strengths.
I love that there is like something simple we can start from. That helps me to kickstart my journey instead of just thinking about I
For
have to do
sure.
this we could say marathon of workshop and have all different activities and things. I could start something like very petite, small, and from there I can expand little by little. I love that. That
Exactly.
encourages me to be like a trainer more than to think about
Tempted.
comparing myself to other people who like big workshop. No, just a small thing. And we can grow from there.
Ali, don't compare yourself to others ever. Honestly, unless you are looking at people who have less than you, don't compare yourself to them. This is a saying of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because there's always going to be somebody who's better, smarter, brighter,
Yes.
more handsome, prettier, whatever it is, right? Always, no matter what you do, we're how many billions of people in this world? Focus on you. Where did I start? Where am I now? have I improved on? Right? And then where do I want to go? What do I still want to improve on? You know, that's just, you have to focus on your own skills with that and what you are learning and compare yourself to yourself, whether it's as a speaker or if it's a trainer. It's the same idea. Even within your career, there's always going to be somebody who's making more money, right? Or somebody who's maybe they've got the job that you like their job better. But if you're focusing on other people, you're not going to be growing yourself, right? So that's my advice to you.
Well said, and I like the structure that you shown for the training itself, that we are going to form a plan how to do a training session, and then we try to evaluate the training itself, the plan itself, the training plan. And that's very powerful to even like before starting training or not, we look at the planning itself. And if you have a good plan, that's really big boost to try to have a good training essentially.
Most definitely. And you know, some people have a mentor for speaking. You can also have a mentor for training.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when I started different training outside of education, right? Outside of academia, it was DTM Don Pradis who was my mentor, right? I don't know, maybe you're too young to remember Don Pradis. But he was one of the founders, one of the co-founders of Toastmasters in Kuwait. And so he got me moving in that direction. And also, the funny thing is, Dr. Makhlouf, Mohammed Makhlouf, DTM Mohammed Makhlouf, when he was running for district director, I was his mentor. And when after he became district director and I was doing my HPL, he was my mentor. So, you know, we all kind of are moving through life at different speeds and different tracks, and that's perfectly fine.
God bless you, DTM Sandy.
Thank you,
And
thank you, and you also.
yeah, I enjoyed listening to the discussion itself and the different things that we can do to plan a training session. This is about it. We can take maybe a group photo before the end of it, but before that, I would like. Okay, I'd like.
We
Okay,
lost some people.
we're
A
still on
lot
the
of, like
agenda.
we lost about half of the people. We should have done it earlier.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Let's try to conclude the session by showing us a certificate of appreciation for your hard work today. I really appreciate the time that you put in. You even showed before even the start of the meeting. Some trainers show in the minutes. You even showed earlier than that, just to so we are calm. You know, I see you on the screen. I see your face. Like I feel calm, and that's really a good thing. Thank you very much for your work. I really, really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Yamuna, you had your hand up.
Okay.
You're unmute. You're muted, my dear. You need to unmute yourself. There you go.
I really liked your session. Now I would like to ask you, would you like to be my mentor if I need some guidance from you?
I'm happy to help out with guidance in certain things. Where are you located?
I'm in Bahrain actually.
Aha. Okay. I'm in Kuwait.
Okay.
My
So definitely-
recommendation would be to find somebody there in Bahrain with you, but I can be a distant mentor.
Okay, sure. In case of any advice or guidance, definitely I will approach you. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for this certificate.
Thank you. Now it's about to glorifying myself by different certificates as the timer roll. And our Toastmaster Abrar, who was Bakar, has died at the earlier of the meeting, and my beautiful self had to step in to save the day. So thank you very much for
But
me.
that's what we do as Toastmasters.
For being an amazing host for the meeting itself. I hope you enjoyed it. And we don't want to take much of your night. Enjoy whatever remains of the day. See you all. Maybe we can take a group photo before we leave. One last thing.
Okay,
Can you help me with that, DTM Dalia, group photo?
please open your cameras. It's always so wonderful to see
Okay.
faces.
Oh, so many pretty faces. Yes. Let's take that
رحينا
photo.
رحينا
1,
حبيبتي افتحي.
2, 3.
Maybe she's in a
Yep.
different something. or other.
Okay, that's it. I mean, you've enjoyed the training and you've seen my face and you've seen the other questions, listen to them. I hope that's
What
good
more
for
do we
today.
want?
Yeah, that's it.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, DTM Sandy, to
You're
Master
very
Ali,
welcome.
and to all the presents. I hope you enjoyed it and looking forward to see you on the 29th of November with the second session. Thank you all.
Inshallah. Take care,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.